Hello everybody, welcome to Hanging with the Hooligans, and today we're going to give you, starting out with a little feel-good story. So, most of us here have had some sort of homelessness in our past. I think the only one here with loving parents and a good home is Doug over there. But recently here in town, and it doesn't happen often up here in rural Midwest where it gets to, negative 40 on the regular, we had a homeless guy coming to town. And, people wander, everything happens there, but it was him and his little puppy there. And he's been sleeping outside the police station for a couple nights. And online, we have a local gossip group and everything. And a bunch of people just started out. I guess he's been here, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks or so. Wondering like, oh, who is this guy? What's going on with this guy? All sorts of shit. And he actually wandered into my clinic here the other day, looking for the main hospital. This was on Tuesday here, I think. Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know. And, he's just exhausted. Found out a whole bunch of stuff about this dude. So he ended up walking up here from Texas. Which is, after we Googled it, if you walk straight, 18 days to walk straight from Texas up here. Wow. That's a long fucking walk.
That's gnarly, man.
So, dude's just tired, exhausted, everything. And, I don't know, I think he was expecting to get kicked out right away. And one of those guys, he obviously has been on drugs in the past, but not full-on dragon person. Like, you can tell just the way they talk. Like, okay, a little schizophrenia light and everything, but he just, didn't know what to do. He was at the wrong clinic, the other one's way outside of town and everything. It's like, dude, me and my coworker were like, hey, just sit down, charge your phone, rest for a little bit. And so we start calling. We start calling around. We ended up actually getting a hold of a social worker. Ended up getting a hold of some pastors and everything. We actually managed to convince him to go and see an actual doctor to get checked out and everything. Yeah. And so, I don't know if this dude has ever had any amount of compassion in the years he's been homeless. Was talking to him for a lot of the time. 20 years he's been on the streets. So, him and his little dog, his dog's name's Keto. Super little cute pit bull.
Adorable.
Oh, fucking adorable. The dog's so well behaved and everything as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're just sitting there trying to bring him some water, trying to talk to him and everything, and find out what's going on and everything. And, he's legitimately trying to get his life together. He had, a backpack filled with documents, being like, look, here's all my court documents. I don't have any warrants. I finally got, my birth certificate. I'm trying to get an ID. I'm trying to get my life back in order. Which, a lot of people on the street don't have that opportunity to ever get their life back in order. Mm-hmm. Ever. It's tough. I spent a year in my car, bouncing back and forth between places.
It really depends what you have, and, when you're trying to go back from it, it's you always need that extra, you need that shelter to really, hunker down. Because if you don't, when you're living out of your car, because that's even better than just living on the street.
Oh.
Your hygiene and your everything goes, it degrades so much that you end up losing the job.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly things can turn to shit just from not having a roof over any sort of roof over your head. But it's everything talking to this dude, he wanted to get his life in order so much. And you feel for these guys too. It's not like he wasn't asking for money or anything. He's like, can I just be in here for a little bit? Because it's fucking cold here. That day it was -1, which it's hard to be on the street for that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're having a tame winter, but it's still, everyone else would be, complaining that it's very, very, it's actually cold right now.
Yeah.
Especially if you're coming from Texas.
Yeah, and I don't know.
People died in Texas when
it got to 30.
Yeah.
They weren't set up for it. We've chat on Texas in another episode, but yeah, it's fucking cold up here. The dude just had I was going to call it a stroller. It's not a stroller. It's a little plastic wagon. It's all he had in that, and some clothes and everything, but we got a whole bunch of stuff set up for him. And then we're trying to find a place for him to sleep for the night. It's I'm going to drop you off at the library for now because our place is closing here. A security alarm goes off. You don't want to be any part of that with the cops coming around and everything. Mm-hmm. So I drop him off, and then looking at the local gossip group on Facebook here a little bit later, and a whole big thread blew up asking about who this dude is there anything going on with him, what they can do. And there's been so many threads, I don't even know what to call them, posts on Facebook about it. But, I mean, we don't get a lot of wins seeing a lot of people, like, actually recover and get better. Like, you just don't see it. You see a lot of people just spiral out of control and it stays there.
Right.
Seeing someone actually, like, have a chance to get better, though, it's nice to see. So what's been happening is, between us getting a hold of the social worker, and we found a church that took him in for that night. So he was warm for that night. There was a GoFundMe page set up that is over $4,000 right now. Problem with that, it was set up by someone who probably shouldn't have any access to any of that. But it was been taken over by social worker and the pastor there, so that's going to be well managed. Okay. In the span of like 3 days, now we have this dude set up with doctors. We have him set up with a social worker to get all this stuff set up. He's getting his ID. He got a little apartment. So in the span of 3 days, this dude has gone from nothing to having an actual shot in life.
Now he's got to go to the place that I was just working, because that'll turn everything around as long as he's able to stick with that job.
Yep, I mean...
Because then he gets the insurance, then he gets the pay rate.
Well, it's not even that. There's actually a program that we have through... So we're not with the county social services. My job has its own social services and access to programs. So he's now getting set up with a program to help him transition into working. So it's not just thrown in there. It's literally, hey, this is how you work again. This is how you have a schedule and everything. Because if you just throw him into into the grind of that fucking place, he'd never last there. But
yeah, I don't know how bad he is, but I know from like my experience, I definitely, I did the job. Now, keeping the job wasn't always the thing, but the job market at the time is different though than it is now, because people were hurting for work back then compared to now.
Whereas companies hurting for workers.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because people might start hurting for work again in the future because there are layoffs happening, with, in the tech industry at least. But yeah, so for him, I do think like that would be that's what I tell. I mean, that's what I tell people in California that we know that complain that they're having things so bad. I'm like, literally go here, work this job. It sucks, but the pay rate's good. You get good benefits, and it will enable you to go wherever you can. From there, the one thing you're sacrificing is the convenience of everything fun in California. But
I think eventually he will get up to that. Like, I'm going to have you guys read this. Thank you.
Steps for him.
Yeah.
Well, is that GoFundMe still active?
It's still active because it has to be 3 days minimum before you can pull it out. And last time I looked at it, it was like at $4,300. So that's literally.
Would you like me to
6
put
months
the link in the description for this episode?
Probably not, just because it's very local.
If we had a bigger audience, that would probably be awesome. But,
well, and on that too, I haven't told this story, so I run for office. I could use this story as a motherfucker of a campaign thing.
Right.
I'm not going to do that though, because it feels so icky. It does. It feels icky.
Yeah.
My coworker's like, "Oh yeah, you should use this for campaign." It's like, I mean, I could, but it feels so exploitative of this dude.
Here's the part you should use is kind of going on the point of like, this thing that you're feeling is exploitative should be more of a standard. Churches should be fucking opening their doors for the homeless. That's what Jesus would want.
Oh, I'm going to expand on it because you just said that. So every fucking church we called and got a hold of, like, told us to stay clear of this dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Because he's homeless? Like, dude, this is literally what you guys should be doing.
Yeah, Jesus would spit in your face.
Right, your whole fucking book is about helping people. And I'm going to name a church because no one knows, but I was raised with Seventh-day Adventist churches. Big fucking falling out because of my dad and some other stuff out there. That was the only church that actually helped this dude. Now, I have a lot of issues with the Seventh Days as an organization, but fucking good for them for actually sticking their neck out there and doing something for this guy. When all the modern contemporary church and everything were like, oh no, don't go near him. You don't want anything to do with him. It's like, fuck you guys.
If I wasn't, trying to.
You're lowering our property value.
Yeah, we've talked about tiptoeing about our exact location. I was like, if it wasn't for that, I'd be talking shit on every other church. Because, it's very simple. When it comes to the Bible, there's all sorts of shit that people can argue about. But when it comes to what Jesus said, he said some pretty, very basic things, and it's disgusting and annoying how so many conservative Christians
completely ignore it.
Yeah, they ignore it. They try to mental gymnastic. They'll do gymnastics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, no, you want people to be fed for free. Like, what are you talking about?
And see, I've actually had family try to hide behind religion for their bigotry and shit like that, and I told them, listen, don't go hiding behind your fucking book. Say what you hate with your full fucking chest. Okay?
Have some convictions in your shit.
So, I don't know. Do you have more to say about this? Because I could veer off into something.
So I'm going to say a little bit. So I did use a little bit politically. I didn't name any names. I was just like, hey, I am so proud of this community for coming together to actually help someone. Because we don't get homeless up here a lot. It's not something that we deal with a lot of up here. And I'm going to talk to the sheriff a little bit and be like, hey, what you did. Because he was telling me that the sheriff was like, you need to get moving on. How long are you staying up here? And it's like, dude, that's not cool. Like,
fuck that guy.
Yeah, I know the sheriff pretty good, and it's like, dude, that's not right. Like, where the fuck do you want him to go?
That's literally like how Rambo First Blood happened.
That's exactly what. So I have this dude's phone number, and I've been talking to him. I'm going to have you guys read the thank you that he sent, because it's very sweet in its own way, if not its own little interesting way. But it's like,
does he say that he was a veteran and that he was days away from shooting up a place?
No, he used to rap with Eminem and was really sweet.
I'm sorry, guys. No, that's a little too. I said that thinking about Rambo. I was like, no, that sounds like
you can't do that anymore, man.
I forgot we
a little too close to home.
Yeah, we live in a modern society where that could happen anywhere.
That can happen anywhere.
Yeah, my bad about that. But,
yeah, no, he kind of went off into the whole music industry thing. It's like, you ain't no Eminem, but you're not completely bullshitting me everywhere, because a lot of what you say, like, oh yeah, I can completely get it. You got hooked on something in the music industry and everything fell out from under you. That I can understand. I've seen that happen.
So, I mean, you could point at any homeless guy and you could assume that they are a fledgling musician.
Exactly.
Because that is really where it goes, because, like, I mean, it's also a huge thing in California, but, like, yeah, it's just, I don't know, somehow you're trying to, like, devote so much energy towards your craft or whatever, and work just isn't working out or whatever. I don't know what it is, but it is truly, those two things do correlate quite a lot.
A lot. Especially, I mean, you think about everything that goes in when you're playing a show, you're doing a gig or everything that's around you. Actually, you look at, like, home shows. They're all fucking parties. There's all drugs and alcohol everywhere.
Right. What ended my run as a musician was me choosing to be a stable working person.
Yeah,
because I started working overtime, and I was like, I want to afford to rent and stuff like that. And the band I was in, literally, they fucking kicked me out because I wasn't making the practices. They're like, you're never around anymore. And it's like I was working overtime all the time. And I remember there was one day they really wanted me to go to practice, and I had gone to a friend's house, and I fell asleep there. And it's like, yeah, I went there after I worked a shift that got off by their place, and I fell asleep and didn't wake up for practice because I was working nights.
Yeah.
And I was working overtime, And it's like, yeah. And that was, at that point in my life, that was everything I wanted, though, is I wanted to be a musician and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, but I just got to this point where I was like, I need to, well, the goal was to get a van, then, I could do the homeless thing a lot more efficiently.
Yeah.
I didn't get to that point because, well, also, living in a van's cool, but also you could tour in a van. Like,
you can do a lot of shit in a van.
Yeah, so, like, I was working for that, and it didn't happen. And so, yeah, my life took a different direction from that point. But it's really sad because, like, yeah, I had to make the choice to choose stability over that dream, you know?
And it's so often you see that, and it's it's one of those things. I don't know why exactly I'm doing so much to try to help this guy, except for that I want to see a win in life because we don't get them too often.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel for this dude. He's very nice. He's
Well,
trying so hard.
It's also the Christian thing to do.
Oh, it's
And
not even
you're not
that,
even you're not even religious, but that's just that, like, as far as when you talk about like what should be done, that's literally like the philosophy of it.
treating a person like a person,
The
even if you think they're below you.
Yeah, the hungry should be fed, the needy should be provided for. He is in need.
Yeah.
There should be some base level of provision done.
Well, what's interesting is kind of the hypocrisy from, like, the sheriff and the other churches and stuff that didn't take this guy in or try to just shove him along.
Scummy, yeah. You guys don't pay taxes. Well, you guys have these buildings.
Scummy as shit.
Well, and then
telling us to stay away from him. It's like, you realize where your work, right? What you're supposed to be doing? Like, what the fuck are you preaching on Sunday?
Yeah.
It's just, and again, it's just like, we could have pushed him out the door and everything, but I know our regional director, who's like actually in charge of the whole thing, is like, I don't want him in there, and we just ignored him. But the dude, I don't think has had any compassion in years. And when he finally fell asleep on the couch out there, I felt so bad waking him up so I could take him to a doctor's appointment to get checked out. Who knows how long it's been since he's seen an actual doctor and everything.
Yeah.
Right.
But everybody, I don't often say I'm proud of my work, but I was so proud about how well everyone treated him, because he did not want to give up that dog for a minute. And I don't blame him at all. It's like, you know what, we're just going to walk in, I'm going to have my badge out, and I just don't even worry about it. We're going to, because I went with him. Took him over to the other building. I mean, the amount of trust this dude showed me, because I had all of his stuff in my car.
Right.
I had his entire life in my car. I mean, if I was a shitty person, I could have just left and dumped it.
Right.
Like, I'm sure that was a fear of his there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's also probably happened.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
You know, the paranoia of, like, people not trusting people is because people have been screwed over. Luckily, I know in my experience, I've had a lot of support. You know, I know you made that joke about, like, not loving parents, and it's like, well, technically my parents were loving. It's more so the what do you call it?
They didn't have the resources to help
like,
you. Yeah.
Well, it's like the economic strain of, like, my dad would have housed me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't live with him anymore because, the butting heads.
Yeah.
And with my mom, I didn't live with her anymore because her, I don't know if he was her husband at the time. Butting heads, though. And that's one of those things that she regrets to this day and stuff. But, I still had a lot of support, whether it was from, so many friends. And what you're doing is the same thing they did for me, and it's, it just sucks, though, because it took him, you said 20 years?
He said he was been on the street for 20 years. He's been in jail a few times, but I mean, he literally was like, here's all my paperwork. I don't have any warrants. I'm good. It's like, dude, I don't give a shit. Like, you've already talked to the sheriff a few times. They would have run your name and everything, I'm sure.
And the crazy thing is, like, how, why is he here?
Literally, what he told me is that he just kept walking and didn't know where else to go, and this is where he stopped.
Yeah. Well, no, the fact he didn't go west,
He's, again, from what he's told me, it's like, you got to take everything with a grain of salt, because no one wants to be that, like, truthful. Is that he's been on the West Coast before. That's kind of where he started out homeless, and then ended up in Texas, and then got up here.
Well, maybe what it is, because there is a lot of people talking about stability in Texas, but that's old news.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like, the gig is up in Texas. Texas is, California,
Texas is actively hating people out of Texas now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, though, where, people do think, like, oh, there's cheaper places in the country to live, and, like, it's better opportunity than here, where it's like, like New York Chicago. Well, Chicago's Midwest, so it's kind of
Chicago's still Midwest.
It's a weird.
I would say Chicago's the start of the Midwest.
They're all what I call like the PvP zones, though. You know, you don't got the same opportunities. Like you really do have to compete with people.
Yeah, easily.
And you know, it's crazy though, because again, Chicago's Midwest. I do wonder how economically rough it is, but I know that's literal PvP zone though.
Yeah.
Like people are in danger if you go on the wrong fucking street.
And it's a big metropolitan area too, so.
Yeah. It's like California has that too, but it really doesn't feel like it when you're there.
No. It's like, motherfucker, why are you being like this? There's palm trees behind you.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
stop.
It's like we walked every night to the same gas station, walking by a spot where someone was shot to death.
Yeah.
And for some reason, something when you're California, it just be like that.
It just be like that. Yeah.
Whereas I don't know, Chicago sounds scarier.
Yeah.
People know where it's at, I guess.
Right.
It's got history. That's what's
Well,
got.
like shit, when I was helping my buddy up in fucking South Central LA, 55th and Holmes is a shitty area by all definitions. I was probably the only white guy around for a couple miles, but I'd fucking walk down the street to the corner store. Like, it's bad and you know it's bad, but I don't know. I guess I was just as fucked up as everyone else was, so it didn't feel so bad.
Yeah. No, that's kind of, the same thing we were saying. We were, well, he wasn't homeless. He was renting out a room from a very nice Mexican family. I was homeless, slumming it on his floor while, him and another friend of ours, Sean, who you know,
Mm-hmm.
you both know him. Yeah, they were working together to rent out a spot, and that area was, heavily Hispanic.
Yep.
It's one of those things that proves it again. Or like we discussed in the last episode, or maybe 2 episodes ago, about the socioeconomic, the system created that,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not about the color you are. It's like, oh, you're down bad too, like.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing now that this dude's getting set up, how many people are trying to shit talk him online, and it's all the same. You see the same picture on their Facebook profile. It's a fucking white dude in a truck wearing Oakleys.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Why are you trying to talk down on somebody
Right.
here?
Oh,
it's
your
the
wife's
same-
cheating on you.
Right.
You have to worry about that,
And it's the same dudes that are talking shit, because we've had a lot of Puerto Ricans move up here recently. A lot of them, and it's great, because now we might finally get some flavor in our food.
Seriously, the Mexican food place
So-
is the only place I go and eat out
Yeah.
fucking here.
But they're all talking shit about that. It's like, they're Americans. You fucking realize that Puerto Ricans are American citizens,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, yeah. I know 2 Puerto Ricans that live here that are great people, and it didn't matter if I knew them or not. They they deserve a chance whether they're great or not.
Mm-hmm.
But personally know a guy from the place I worked,
Yeah.
and he had to work his way up through the fucking turkey plant, lost the fucking tip of his finger. Dude's a great dude.
Yeah.
And also, I met some Venezuelans through that company. We talked in a previous episode about a company that contracts out
Mm-hmm.
workers from this other company. And I met these Venezuelan people, and it's like, hey, they're leaving a really crazy socio-economic situation in their country, coming here to find stability. Well, first they started in Florida, so they're already
Yeah, that's already
They already got PTSD.
kicking the dick going to Florida.
Well, God, where did I go? I always forget. I think it's Orlando. Yeah, Orlando's got a different vibe than
Orlando's
what we
a
hear
straight tourist destination.
Yeah,
it's
it's got a different
Orlando is not Florida. Orlando is Orlando.
Oh my God, yeah, hot Latinas every block. It was pretty cool. But these
Sure.
people, go from there to here though, where it's not as expensive, and they're like, hey, I'm trying to settle. One of them were working their ass off to get the process done to move her parents from Venezuela here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, they deserve that chance. So, you with the real tree camos and the stupid Oakley, shut the fuck up.
Right?
This is people that deserve a chance to get what you fucking were born with.
Yeah.
It's like, it's amazing how many people completely miss just what they have and what people are trying to get here. I can't stand it. Like,
And like you
stop
said,
shitting on people. Like,
Yeah.
stop shitting on people.
right? And like you said with flavor, we also need more of that when it comes to women here in town. Because like there are a lot of thick white women here, but you know some more Latinas here would be nice.
Well,
You know.
I don't have to worry about that anymore. My junk don't work. It's for show.
Yeah, here I am. I'm not married, but I am in a
You've been with
6 year
chicks for a while, yeah.
a 6 year committed relationship. But I'm saying that just because, well, yeah,
It's
we
just it's
we should
nice.
have some diversity in
Right.
every community.
I remember there was a sale thing going on at the nearby stadium. It was like an indoor market sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I went by this one bread, they were just selling bread. It was these two sisters. They were just gorgeous as all get up, man. Woo! But I think they were Native American, and I was just sitting there going, "Damn, see, we need more of that in town."
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we actually have a fairly decent native population.
I was gonna
here.
say, yeah. I guess there is a.
We
yeah.
literally have the res is just right
Oh, yeah.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
The casino's just right there. The casino's on our county. It's not even over in the res.
Yeah. Well, and not every place that has a reservation nearby has a lot of natives though, but it does. I do see a lot of natives here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Still not as many as white Scandinavian people, you know.
So that's because they stand out more because they glow. How fucking white they are.
It's
Oh,
funny.
my leg is showing.
Yeah, it's funny
The
because
Gondor beacons are lit.
yeah, it's,
Gondor calls for aid.
everybody, especially in the circles that we run in, everyone wants to be Vikings these days.
Oh,
and it's
God.
like, no, you
Oh,
don't,
my
because
God.
we fucking live with the Vikings, and they're sitting here going, "Oh, for cute," Yeah, you guys want to pretend everyone was raiding villages or whatever. No, they went through their freaking hinga-dinga milkmaid fucking phase
Hey,
centuries ago.
are you gonna pass your lefsa over here, please?
Hey, don't talk shit about Lesra.
I'm gonna talk shit about.
Don't
lefsa.
talk shit about Lesra.
Tortillas are fucking better.
It's just white people
It's just-
tortillas made with potatoes.
Or we could just have tortillas.
Yeah, potato tortillas are good, just because they're potatoes.
They're
though.
different things, man.
Well,
They're
so then,
different
okay,
things.
so next time I get a shit ton of lefta, does that mean I should just make burritos with it?
Yes, basically use it like you would a tortilla.
So it's the tortilla.
No,
but
no.
made with potatoes.
No,
Yes.
but you need to know, of course, obviously, the tortilla's better for that because
It's designed for that. Yes.
it's more malleable than the freaking lefse.
Well, okay.
Because a potato is,
Well, I found lefse to always be pretty flimsy.
The times I've had lefsa in this town, it was cold butter and cinnamon.
Well,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that
no,
was
that's
it. It
gross.
was like,
No,
this
you warm
is-
it up, you butter it. So,
you had it cold.
Why do you think I have
It's
cinnamon
They-
sugar?
that's
It's
the
not
way they
because I
told me
use
they
cinnamon
did it.
sugar.
no, that's because they're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You warm it up. Honestly, ground beef and some mayo on there, and it's very Norwegian and it's very
Yeah.
good.
But
it works
as
good.
So
Californians,
you
we
made
will say,
yourself a wrap. Congratulations.
Yes, just like you do with the tortilla.
I was about to say, as Californians, we do think lefse is overrated just because, obviously, you could do that with tortillas.
Yes, I mean I'll never say that a tortilla is not going to be good
Alright.
to replace it, but it's
Maybe
It's
But
good.
when the supply lines go down, lefta is what I'm going to need to use for burritos.
Lefse.
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 Yeah.
So this is what we got because we don't have anyone around here who makes fresh tortillas because we don't have enough Mexicans yet. We need more. We need that border open so we can get a fresh tortilleria up here.
I mean, seriously, at this point in time, I'd say just open up that border so we can get better food up north.
Yes.
What, from the Canadians?
No, that
No,
border's
are you
open,
kidding
dude.
us?
You know
Yeah.
how often they get
Yeah.
people
Yeah, no,
crossing
you
that
can-
border?
I was about to say, you just triggered the memory of okay, so we live up north where we're close to the border. People here have prejudices against the fucking Canadians. We thought that was a joke in
Oh,
California.
no, shit,
about,
no.
Those damn snowmen. No, people really do hate Canadians.
Which I don't get. Which They're is the fucking nicest weird fuckers because
ever.
you're a few fucking miles from being
Because-
Canadian. Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up.
or
Because
it's-
Ontario fucking sucks. Fuck Ontarians that come down here.
Yeah, because apparently they're rude and they speak French, so they want them to speak English, and they're really inconsiderate. I think a lot.
Ontario is basically the south of Canada. Fucking hate. Last time I was at Walmart last night, and there's a guy with Ontario plates,
Mhm.
and his goddamn back of his truck was just a bunch of fuck Trudeau, my gun, my rights. It was literally Texas,
So,
but
you-
with
you
Trudeau
gotta-
instead of Obama.
So, yeah, so
Interesting.
Close that border.
So what I'm
That's-
hearing is I
Build
don't
the
go
wall.
to Ottawa. I go to somewhere else.
Well, we're closer to
Winnipeg.
get up to Winnipeg than you are to go down to the cities.
Okay.
And they have an IKEA up there that's cheaper because their currency ain't worth shit. You just need your passport.
for some reason,
dude, I do
what's-
need to go to Winnipeg then because I need to get me some IKEA.
Yeah.
I was looking at those prices
I plan on
online.
getting my
Ugh.
passport this year and finally going to
Yeah,
Canada.
dude,
Do
and
it,
they have a
man.
great zoo up there. They're fucking zoo rocks.
Yeah, once the snow melts, I'm gonna get my
It's no
license out
wild
here.
animal park.
There's
I'll say
also
that.
a HEMA group up there.
There's a lot of SCA and HEMA
Really?
and everything up there.
Oh, I'm gonna have to
Because
go up there
it's-
because theirs is in the cities. I'm not driving 6 hours
No,
once
it's
a week.
2 hours to get up
What
there.
about Fargo? We went to that Fargo Moorhead.
They got the SCA group and everything. It's
Yeah, that's why
alright,
we went
but
there.
I know. I don't know.
It was
Every-
cool. And you remember when we went there and they like shit their pants when they saw us? Dude, they noticed new people came to the thing. They're like, oh, so this is what we do. Yeah, we're open to new people. You know, like they were like,
Yeah, but it wasn't so fucking far. That's the thing.
They
Everything's
were-
so far.
Yeah.
it's not that far. It's
Well,
only
the-
100 miles away.
The one group I'm a prospect of, they're out of the Twin Cities, so I'm just sitting here like getting all these messages and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, I have to make the effort to go down there.
No, you can go
And I don't
north.
even have the pads for it, so.
Yeah, you can go north.
No, I mean, obviously you want to go every weekend,
Yeah.
but you know, the Fargo drive really isn't that bad.
It's not bad. It's just, they do like their practices on Thursdays.
I probably drove more. Living in California, like in San Diego
Oh, yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Like I probably drove a couple hundred miles like every weekend, just driving around that fucking city.
Yeah.
Compared
Well,
to now, I'm like,
So, isn't Fargo like
20
a 2
miles
hour?
away to get.
Fargo
into
is
town?
90 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
No kidding.
And there's a group out there.
There's an SCA.
That's why
group.
Do you by chance
I'll
have
get
their
your
info,
license.
or-
Yeah, I'll send you this
Yeah,
stuff.
send that
So
over.
you
I
can
want to
give me-
go.
because I don't want to do it.
It's your turn.
Yeah. Well, currently it is my turn. So, yeah, listeners, I don't have a driver's license right now. Probably shouldn't say that, but you know, I don't have a driver's license, and I
Well, if
don't
anyone
know how to
sees
drive.
you,
Yeah.
It's a good thing no one knows exactly where we live.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm at that point where I'm back to scrub status, though, where you know, I did remember I have a car here that I could drive, but the other one is like my car I need tabs for, and then the van that's not registered yet. But I forgot. Yeah, I do have my girlfriend's car because I dropped her off in Grand Forks before she went on her trip.
By the way, he finally got his van.
Yeah, I
We were
did.
talking about it earlier.
success in
Yeah,
life.
yeah, you hear that? Yeah, that was a goal I was working towards so many years ago, and yeah, I
Got it, man.
Yeah, I got it.
Where'd Jay head out to?
Well, she is in I don't know the West Coast.
Oh, okay. She went out there. Nice.
Oh,
It
she's
was
gone. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Washington.
That was a great answer. I love
Washington, Oregon, NorCal, like that's yeah, she's checking out those spots, which
That's
is
cool.
cool because I've never been there.
Nice.
But you know, of course, with the trip we have planned again is just to go to San Diego again
that. Yeah.
because we actually know people. But
Yeah.
Well, my family's moving out of San Diego soon. They're moving up to the Great White State of Idaho. Idaho? Yeah, the
I
potato
know
man.
for some reason
Are,
everyone
are
in
your
our
family
small
white
town,
supremacists?
Man.
Because there's a lot of people moving up there that are white supremacists.
Well,
there's
man,
a lot of people from mine and Alex's hometown that are moving to Idaho.
Because they're white supremacists.
Well, I don't know about all of them, but there are quite a few.
Yeah, see, like,
Some of the
I
people
sit here
on
and I...
Lakeside, maybe.
Oh, fucking
Yeah.
yeah.
We're not from Lakeside.
I
See,
mean, I kind of am. Half the time.
oh,
See,
you
I
lived
think
there,
I think
yeah.
my parents fell for the Yellowstone theory.
Oh.
You know, they're just like, oh my god, it's gonna be like great white areas with like nobody around.
My
Yeah.
dad's always been. Oh no, he always talks about Yosemite.
Yosemite.
Yosemite is
beautiful.
He
Holy
was like,
shit.
When I was living in my car, God, this is gonna keep being a subject today.
Yeah.
Dude,
my dad
we're
will
on
always be like,
topic.
like,
Structure.
yeah, he's like, I don't know what what you're doing still around here. Like, since you live in your car, I'd be up in Yosemite. And it's like, well, it's because I don't have the fucking gas money. Like,
Yeah, like
what job am I
supposed
gonna
to
have in Yosemite when no one will hire me here? You know?
Yeah. No shit.
Would have been stuck up there.
Right.
Which, you know,
Get eaten by a bear.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can get falling for the Yellowstone shit because we went to Yellowstone, but that's not really Idaho. That's like Wyoming and Montana.
I know that Yellowstone doesn't really need advertising, but go to Yellowstone.
Yellowstone's
Holy
pretty fucking
shit,
cool.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just, another.
Don't touch the goddamn buffalo.
Here
Well,
we go again.
Don't go near them.
Yeah.
Leave
People
the
are
fuck alone.
stupid, and this is just a PSA. Don't go near the fucking bison.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so I know so. I think a lot of the influencers and shit now have such romanticized the van life culture and everything. It's like, dude, they started with money.
So remember how in another episode we were talking about 2016?
Yeah,
that was a thing where like it didn't pick up traction as much back then, but it's
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, having
It was
both of us lived in a vehicle,
No,
I can tell you it's not very fun.
Oh no!
I mean, we managed to have fun.
No. We're talking about like crusty, like the crusty hippies that found a way to actually sustainably.
I know.
live in a van.
What I'm saying though is, you try to make it look cool. I know how it feels. It's not that fun.
No, Ford Taurus is way different. We didn't have the room to lay down. I have the room to lay down in the van I currently have, but the bed thing in there, I'd have to scrunch up on. But no, it's funny because it went from a crusty hippie thing to do that no one was doing to.
You live in a van down by the river.
Yeah, to all these.
Hey, you're going to live in a van down by the river.
Yeah, all these gentrified people. There's people called digital nomads. Like Doug could fucking do this for all we know.
Basically,
you look like you'd be one, Doug.
Do you like one of the
I didn't want to say that.
You do remote work, and then
just travel.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I
like,
want to do that. Honestly, at this point in time, I'm just like, fucking, just get a van. I can just travel wherever.
That's called full timing, right?
Yeah. It's
Well,
called
I think what would be cool is to have a van that's basically I could live in the van, have that mobile job. But then if we start doing like dispensaries and shit like that, like, dude, how cool would that be to be like just a Roman manager? You know what I mean? Like, go to one shop for a week, make sure.
Or
it's
if for
running
some
fine,
reason
next
there was
shop.
like a TCG company that needed people to sell.
or that too.
That's one of those things. When Aaron, me, and my buddy Gilbert were working those conventions, Aaron said in Kansas City, like, "Oh, I could do this for a living." And then it was like 2 events later, he's like, "I never said that," because it was getting expensive to fucking fly. And it's as far as being an actual business, we're not doing the business thing correct, where we have business credit and all that, and we still need to do that. That put me in debt, and now every time I almost get out of debt, more things put me back in debt.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Never does. I actually do have 2 savings now that are doing pretty decent, but still, I'm sitting here going like, "Don't touch the money."
It's so funny that I ironically quit my job to settle my debt too. That was one of the deciding factors because I was at a point where I wasn't going to work enough where I would earn my way out of it.
Yeah, and you're just like, fuck it, get the 401k, pay it off, done. Yeah.
And then restart, try all sorts of stuff. I don't know if I talked about that on this podcast, by the way. I think I did, but I don't know if I did.
We might have touched upon it a little bit.
Financial advice for listeners: if you get a credit card, pay it off at the end of the month. Do not leave a balance to roll over. I am suffering now because of it. So.
Oh yeah, I've had no choice. Yeah, because I think it's like. And it's funny, too, because Jay also doesn't like me having a credit card, but she's definitely benefited from it a few times. Like, that San Diego trip I mentioned, I bought the tickets for that with the credit card.
Well,
Credit,
sometimes
unfortunately.
you just need to have a credit card.
Yeah, it's unfortunately necessary, but can it fuck you over in a heartbeat?
Yeah.
Thus, if you have a credit card and you use it to get points and stuff, make sure you pay it off at the end of the month. If you don't have the cash to pay it for it, then don't buy it.
Yeah, I was building credit. I realized I got to a point where I lost 20 points in my credit. I was doing really good. My credit's still good.
Yeah.
My credit was 20 points better before the last report. I'm like, fuck, man. But yeah, that's gonna turn around once I get my 401k.
Just pay it off.
Yeah.
One thing I've actually heard was people will often take out 2 credit cards. They'll have one that they actually use, and they just have one that they make one payment on, and then don't ever use it. I'm not exactly sure how that works out for their credit score, but apparently that's a good way to just kind of.
Well, as long as
Bump
you
it a little.
make sure not to fuck up and use it, and you end up with now 2 credit cards maxed out.
Yep, there's that.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not even maxed out. I'm like almost halfway through the credit limit because when I first got the credit card, I did really good because I was just using it for groceries. And then once the TCG thing started, I don't know if we talked about that on the podcast, but I started using it to fly places, and I was like getting over the halfway limit, but I was paying that off because I was still working consistently. And then the credit company was like, "Yo, you're doing really good. We're gonna raise your credit limit to $5,000." So now, if I max out my credit card,
they fucking do that. I hate it.
Yeah.
if I max out my credit card, that's a shitload of money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird because we're at that age. Well, I mean, yeah, we're all similar age. I'll just say that.
We're close enough.
We're at that age where like, a couple $1,000 isn't a ton of money, but it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, if I had $1,000 tomorrow, fucking change my life. But
yeah,
it ain't worth shit for like anything else other than maybe putting partial down on a payment or something like that.
Shit, man, like $500 sounds like a lot of money sometimes.
Yeah, dude. When I got the 300 bonus from the company, man, dude, I was just like, all right.
I'm rich.
I'm rich. Oh, yeah, I bought myself a new.
And it's
500 being a lot brokey, and like Andrew Tate says.
But it's fuck, dude. Like so many Americans too are just that one payment away from fucking being homeless again. Man.
Yeah. Nope.
Like
That's why I pay my lot rent ahead of time, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be out.
That's
Like,
why Chad and I were so for Andrew Yang with universal basic income.
Oh yeah.
That money, even if it wasn't a lot, would have meant so much more.
That $1,000 would have allowed me to stay out in California.
Yeah.
Like,
Too bad he didn't talk about anything else though, so no one wanted it.
yeah, nobody wanted
Right.
it. Apparently, he was kind of pumping and dumping. It sounded like.
To be fair, every time he was trying to speak, everyone was like, Trump! Ah!
Well, not just that though. And I'm saying like he doesn't have any other convictions.
Yeah.
Other than UBI.
No, his thing is just economically.
When he even said like because he's doing the humanity forward thing. He's like, yeah, well, of course I think we should have reproductive rights for women, but humanity forward is about both sides. Blah blah. And it's like, dude, we get it.
Bro.
You were turning weird alt-right people into like center of the right people.
yeah.
That are like willing to possibly do UBI, but like you need to let that go because those people got radicalized again.
Yeah.
Fucking backed out and fucking backed Biden.
Yep.
Those people are fucking Sig Heiling right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Like you're.
It's not a goose step. They're just stretching their hammies really high.
Yeah. I've mentioned so many times on this podcast people Sig Heiling. But like that's it's crazy to think about. Like that's literally like fascism, like classical fascism is back in Italy.
Yep.
Like,
well, none of you guys went to Escondido High, right?
no.
So their little like salute when they're doing their song was literally your arm out in a C.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're just one tucked thumb away. It's like, yeah, you guys really need to rethink that shit, because, you just tuck that thumb up and,
I feel like that was also...
right.
Someone did that on purpose.
Someone did that on purpose.
So, actually, funny story on, like, this. Well, I guess it's...
Doug just Sig
Doug.
Heiled
I just called him Jug, too.
Judd. They're Judd and Judd.
Well, okay.
Judd.
Well, okay, I was at a Cinco de Mayo festival because I used to do traditional Mexican dance. And when we were there, they were doing the Pledge of Allegiance and then also the Pledge of Allegiance for Mexico, I believe it was. So, like, you had people with their hands over their hearts, but then for the American one, but then when it came to the Mexican one, everybody had arms out.
Do they straight up do it?
Yes!
Oh, man.
That was the weirdest thing.
Doug did it again.
But no, apparently that is how you salute that flag. It's a salute, period. But
Jamie, pull that up. No, I'm kidding. Fact check them right now. No.
We can't afford no Jamie.
You know what? I'm actually gonna look it up real quick.
No,
just to
I
make
Never
sure.
mind, we have a Jamie.
I wasn't actually trying to fact check Judd. Judd. You just made that stick, dude.
Okay,
Can't
no,
wait
you know
for the
what?
Judd and Shud
Okay,
shirt.
well,
What's it called? It's like the Bradford.
Okay, it looks like they have like a few different ones. Apparently,
Oh,
there's one where it's
no.
across the chest, but
It
then they
doesn't
also
have-
have ones where it is like this.
That is
Doug
the first.
just did it again.
That's the part of it, yeah.
Yeah, that is the first step to a Seagal is the thing across the chest. Maybe that's what you meant.
Well, no, that's just it though. Like looking at this, so like actually, here's a whole crowd of people. They're just having their hand against their chest like this. But like I said, when I was
When it's in black and white, it still
Dude,
looks worse.
At some point,
Yeah.
some Mexican dude's gonna listen to this and be like, "I don't know what the fuck he's talking about."
Oh yeah, no, people are gonna call me fucking insane or like anti, whatever. But like, nah, legit. Like I said, I was at that thing and I was looking around. I was just like, I'm confused right now. Like I know it's not bad, but
He's
like,
like,
at the same time,
I'm not
going
to do this.
He's like, "There's also these Catholic guys wearing fucking pointy hoods."
Right.
Man.
Well, actually,
The
you know what?
Catholic
Now
Church
that
and
I'm
their
looking at
hats.
now that I'm looking at that photo of all the people like doing that, they're also wearing the same color of the people that did like the January 10th riot down there or something like that. Or it was in Venezuela that had it. There was one where they basically had the January 6th 2.0.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
was like, "What is January 10th, dude?" Oh no.
I mean, the Nazis did escape to South
Oh
America.
yeah, no,
so-
are you kidding? As soon as I heard the country, I was like, wait a second.
Venezuela, there's quite
Yeah.
a lot of German names down there.
I think it was Venezuela that had it. I think they're the ones that have like the Trump 2.0 down there
Fuck,
too
they're not
right
even
now.
hiding. They're out there just fucking arms waving.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I
Sure is a lot of schnitzel down here in Venezuela.
know I talked about the guy who founded the Proud Boys, but one of the prolific leaders of the Proud Boys is straight up a Latino guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was.
Yeah.
I don't
He's
know.
probably
Was.
still Latino.
You are no longer Latino.
Yeah, they took his card away.
Took his card away. He got his white supremacist one instead.
That's kind of, dude. There are Mexicans I've met that are so extremely.
Oh,
Like,
dude, they have a class system like India does, whether they want to admit it or not.
well, they're like
There,
like weird. There's some of them are like weirdly racist.
there's some
To,
truth to they're already here. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Yep.
It's like, well, I'm here. Fuck the rest of them.
Yeah.
Like, build that wall. I'm like, what are you
Yep.
talking about? And
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I mentioned that this person in the beginning of the episode, the one who's working so hard to get their parents here, and I respect that.
Yeah.
They were buying dumb conservative bullshit from one of my coworkers. She was like, "Yeah, no, fuck them. Like, they should do things the right way." And I was like, "What do you mean, do things the right way?" I was like, if you side with these people, they want you gone too.
Yeah, the
They
moment that they get what they want, they're gonna be like, "All right, next person standing next to me."
It's
Let's throw 'em
literally
out."
the fucking Family Guy color chart test when they get into power. It's like, nope, deported.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right, thanks for the help. High five.
and it's
Oh,
yeah, and that whole thing is still going on. That's the whole bullshit with Texas or whatever.
Fuck Texas.
Yeah.
I think we've said that a lot in the past couple episodes, but fuck Texas.
Fuck Texas.
Yeah,
Texas took my friend from me.
Fuck Texas. I was the only one that didn't. I had to be involved.
no,
You're
I
the
didn't
program.
say. Did I say fuck Texas? Yeah.
Well, we've implied fuck
There's
Texas
a couple
lot.
reasons. Yeah,
I've
I
said
don't-
fuck Texas
I
a
don't
lot.
like the government of Texas.
I just don't like Texas itself. I think the state looks stupid. It's a bad design.
Who the hell
Their
was like?
barbecue is ass.
It is.
Dude, I had fucking barbecue in Texas in Dallas Fort Worth, and Aaron's sitting here trying to pretend that the runny fucking barbecue sauce was good. I'm like, bitch, that isn't sauce.
No.
And he's like, no, I actually think it's really good. Dude, it was fucking watery ketchup. It was not fucking barbecue sauce.
Dude, I will take that fucking mustard barbecue from, God, what is it, North Carolina, where they do the mustard barbecue or whatever, over
Yeah.
that Texas shit any day. And I fucking hate that mustard barbecue.
Now, barring people who aren't like, a single person, like my uncle, my dad, Larry, here in Minnesota, Fozzie's, those have probably been some of the best ribs I've ever had. Second to Texas Roadhouse, but the one in Grand Forks. The one in Grand Forks, it was some of the best, like, fall off the bone fucking ribs I've ever had. But when I went to the source, I went to Dallas, Fort Worth, and it was supposed to be one of the best barbecue places in that area. So much so, I think there's like 3 locations. It was ass.
Sucked.
They also had beef ribs and not pork ribs. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
No, I'm down with the beef ribs. Do you guys ever go on the Fat Ivers in Valley City in California? Valley Center?
No, I stay away from Valley Center.
Right. I mean,
there's a lot of
fucking-
places I didn't eat because I just couldn't afford to go.
well, it's such a fucking ass backwards place to get to anyway.
No, you gotta go like, 90 miles into nowhere or something?
Yep, 90 miles past nowhere.
Yeah. But that place, fucking beef ribs. Honestly, God, the best barbecue I ever had was in Esco. It was Big Ernie's. This motherfucker was probably 600 plus pounds. Giant black man. Fuck, his food was good.
Me?
No, I was gonna ask you, what is
Okay.
that place in San Diego that has a huge line? That's a barbecue place. I totally forgot about that place.
I fucked it.
Fuck, it's like
The
famous.
Brazilian barbecue?
No, I don't think it's Brazilian.
I don't know.
It's just a barbecue place
Just
that
a bar-
everyone likes, and it's near Soma.
Near Soma.
Oh,
Yes.
shit. I never went down that south.
I know there's a
that.
Korean barbecue place down
It
there.
is
so I'm
not
guessing.
ethnic.
It's just regular old barbecue.
Yeah, regular barbecue. No fucking country before it.
I don't remember.
Pretty sure it's like not Dave's. I think it's Phil's barbecue.
Oh no! I think you're on. It's the one that's like now a franchise, isn't it? Like
Well, no.
Dave's Barbecue.
I think it's Phil's barbecue.
Dickie's Barbecue is a chain out of Texas. That place
Jesus
sucks
Christ,
too.
how many? Yeah, I like how there's like you're like Brazilian. He's like Korean. Then there's like Phil, Dave, Dickie. Like,
Yeah.
gosh, man.
I don't know, man.
barbecue's
There's
a
so
weird
many like
Yeah.
barbecue popped up. It's like the new fucking pizza place. There's a goddamn
Yes.
barbecue place everywhere, and most of them suck.
one. Now
Oh.
I've had barbecue in Kansas City, in Texas, or Dallas Fort Worth.
Well, what's weird is like there's this. They're trying to make it like this upper class thing.
Yeah,
it's barbecue.
It's trash meat.
Yeah.
Well, What's fucking
that's-
weird is to me a
That-
barbecue.
that is-
that's
what
out
barbecue
at your
was.
boy's house and
Yeah.
you're just doing your ribs yourself.
Yeah.
Like that's barbecue.
Well, and can I just mention what Minnesota barbecue is because it's fucking hilarious?
Is mayonnaise involved?
No, it's fucking sloppy joes. If you see someone say, "I'm going to make some barbecue," it's sloppy joes. It's
you know what?
hilarious.
I didn't realize it, but I have been noticing that's what
Yep.
people have been saying.
Now, I did make a joke a few years ago that I wanted to make a Minnesota-based barbecue and it'd be mayonnaise-based. Found out Alabama already beat us to it. Alabama white
of
sauce.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
The only other fucking state that would beat Minnesota to a mayonnaise-based barbecue would be Alabama.
White sauce.
Yep,
What
it's
the fuck?
fucking mayonnaise-based barbecue sauce. Those fuckers took it from us.
Well, I mean, from you.
That's another crime Madison has to answer for.
Well, I mean, we could always make it Minnesotan and be like, put like what are they called?
Use
Here
no
comes the
seasoning.
fucking
It's just
lefse.
fucking
Here comes the fucking lefse.
Lefse-based cornbread.
That's the base with no, it was tater tots. It's the tater rounds on top or something in there
Tater
somehow.
tots.
Yeah, I mean,
Tater rounds.
you make a brisket hot dish.
barbecue, eh?
It has sour cream in there.
I
So it's
made
already
them
mayo.
Canadian.
Don't
I don't know why I made them Canadian, but I did.
don't make loose fish any worse than it already is,
Oh
man.
my
Don't
God.
try to smoke that shit. Oh my god.
I'm
Ew.
hearing
Smoke
people
sandwich
talk
sounds
about
good.
how good it is. It's like,
It's
I'm
not.
not even going to give you a shot. I will give some things a shot. I am not going to give that a shot.
Okay, so do we all? Because my palate is a little different than everyone else's, I think.
Yeah.
But would we all agree that smoked chicken wings are bullshit? Like
Yes.
they're ass.
Yes.
The
If
texture's
it's not
fucking
fried,
dog-
it's not right.
I've had some
The,
good
the,
stuff.
the
but-
texture's dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I've never had like smoked
think-
chicken. I've
I
only
think-
had like smoked pork or smoked beef.
Do you know?
Turkey, I think, would be the closest, but that was bomb fucking diggity.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the same. Okay, you know the turkey leg that we got at Fair and Esco.
Yeah, that was dry as hell. Usually.
That's my point.
Oh, okay.
That's chicken. That's smoked chicken wings.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
The texture is just like that turkey leg, where at first you're like, "Oh, this is good," and then like a couple minutes go by and you're like, "What the fuck?"
I think they smoke it too long.
Well, yeah, that's what smoking is. Yeah, you
Well,
fucking
too long is.
yeah. Well, that's what barbecue. They usually fucking take forever because they're trying to make it fall off the bone or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not what you do with chicken. You fucking cook it and get it out.
Yeah, because then you just get fucking dry meat.
Yeah.
Now,
Something
no.
suspicious
As
outside?
long as you marinate it right, you know, some dry chicken can be good, but it can't be the wings.
No,
No.
they, wings go from fucking done to fucked so quickly.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta, like breasts. Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you think-
you could make that shit beef jerky for all I care?
Why
chicken
would you?
jerky,
Why
chicken.
would you put a chicken in with a brisket and expect it to come out around the same?
Right?
Like, it's not gonna be good.
Oh my god. That would be terrible. Like,
I don't know if people are actually doing.
well,
that,
like I
but-
could just see somebody doing that, being like, "Yeah, this chicken's gonna be just as good as the brisket," and then it just chicken just like it's like a,
Yeah, you're chewing for like 5 minutes on a chicken wing, and it's like this is like a bite normally.
Yeah, chicken, and that's the sad thing. Chicken jerky isn't even that good
No.
compared to beef jerky, and it's really sad because, like,
I do like.
I love
turkey
chicken,
jerky.
but yeah, it doesn't work for that.
yeah, chicken, it's just it's my favorite as far as like meats go. But
It's
like
my most used protein by
you-
far.
Yeah, and it's like you can't. Of course, you can't do a lot with it as far as like the other forms of like cooking. Like you can't do the jerky. You can't like dehydrate it. You know.
you know. Would you guys know? Is there a difference between deer and venison?
Same thing.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I thought. I thought basically poultry versus chicken, basically
Yeah.
live versus dead.
Same thing.
Venison is. I think some people try to.
It's
use that-
fancier.
Make
Yeah,
it
people
ill.
try to use it. Yeah, people try to use it as a game term for
Yeah.
like you know.
Like when people say umami instead of just savory. It's just people sounding
Just
like
let
assholes.
them have their moment. James
No.
has this thing.
People say umami when it's
Yeah.
supposed to say delicious.
Instead of
supposed to
saying
be
something savory, it's a very umami flavor. Fucking
What?
say savory, you pretentious
See,
asshole.
when I hear umami, all I think
Let
is
them
like
have
the.
their
I will not.
What are those pods with the seeds in it that you?
An edamame.
Edamame. That's what I keep thinking of when you say umami. I was like, ooh, that does sound good right now.
I was like, I don't know. Umami to me sounds like some weeb shit. Some Japanese
That's
thing.
what it is. It's some weeb shit. The French invented cooking.
I don't
That
know
is
about
why it's
this.
called savory.
I don't know about this, and I'm a weeb, so I don't know.
No, it's like within the past 5-10 years, they're trying to replace the word
I don't
savory
know
with
about
umami.
you, but umami is what I'd be saying if I met what's her name?
Rhea Ripley.
There we go.
Me too, brother. Me too.
I was like already getting ready to make that joke. I was like, "Fuck, what's her name though?"
All you had to say was mommy, and I was thinking it.
Or the power midget.
Power
The
midget?
power midget.
Yeah. Let me bring this up now that you know because I forgot that was a group chat thing.
God.
So, you know, a long time ago on Facebook, there used to be, when you looked for, you know, public figures or whatever, it would basically be like, I don't know, Obama and then like bands you like. But since the birth of OnlyFans, now a lot of creators, they're like cosplayers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Now, I saw there was just a list of them, and one was like, I forgot her name, something Power Midget, and I went, what the fuck? And then someone in this group here just happened to be following them. So I was like, hey.
You
who
already
is
said
this?
Alex. You don't need.
Yeah. Alex was following, yeah.
Uh,
Alex was following.
What do you
this
jerk
group.
off?
I guess I've.
And then,
I saw pretty girl follow pretty girl, and now I have a kink apparently.
no, and what I just happened to notice is that I saw the list again. You unfollowed her, and I was like, you have. I was
I
like,
didn't unfollow her.
really? It didn't show you on the thing anymore. Like,
Oh.
this one person follows them.
I restricted my.
Now,
I did not unfollow.
we then had a. Well, no, it does show other people you follow still.
Okay, I don't know, but
They do. You know, after we had this conversation, because I saw a meme where someone had a like a bumper sticker, and it was like, "Honk if you want to see a midget like stripping."
I sent you that one.
Yeah, it was in the group chat, and then I was like, "Oh, Alex, you know, you like midgets?" And he was like, "What are you talking about? I like tall girls." And like he was
I was
acting
like-
like he didn't remember the joke, or he didn't remember the joke. I don't know which
Yeah.
one. But then it's so funny. The next day, I then saw a tall like shield maiden like chick cosplaying as a Valkyrie, and I was about to put that in there and be like, "Alex, hey, look, tall girl."
Well, Well, you should have done it anyways, because I would have enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I think.
No, the funny thing is like my actual tastes are really just kind of more like I don't care.
No,
Tell
the
us about
narrative
all
that
the
you like.
wrong choices in women you've made over the years.
Yes, please.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm just primed for dysfunction.
I guess, man.
I mean, if you're.
We just need to get you a nice meth addict. At least then you'll know what you're in for.
I have restraint, thank fuck. No.
Oh,
It
man.
depends on the meth addict, honestly. I'm in a pretty hot meth addict. Remember?
Yeah.
At least you'll always know if you ever need something. They'll always bring it home for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doggy bag.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man.
No,
Right.
Interesting conversation today, boys. Interesting conversations.
Also, I did find out why she goes by Power Midget. She is a power lifter.
Yep.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, I
Yes.
just followed her now, so.
Okay. I mean, I follow a man who's a midget and a power lifter, so.
Well, Power Man's already taken by some comic book guys. So.
No, yeah, Power's not
Yeah.
in his name. He just goes by his name, because, yeah.
Well, that's lame.
Yeah. And his name's Sam, so that's not a very cool name, but
No.
he's pretty cool though. He's like a dwarf that is buff, so.
Nice.
And I think for his size, yeah, he do be lifting heavy.
Oh, dude, like, if you want to look at some of the best strength-to-weight ratios, yeah, little people fucking dominate. Because they only have to fucking go like 3 inches.
Fuck it, I'll say it. You know what I really want to see though? I want to see some of these fuckers get on a fucking anvil finally, and I want to see it happen. I want to see how good they are at smithing.
I bet you there's probably some out there. I bet if we dug into the internet, there's a little person smith out there. But I want them to have an anvil.
Imagine someone being offended by that joke, and I'm like, come on, man. That's like the coolest thing about them being called dwarves.
Right?
Is the association with the myth.
And if
The
you're
dwarves
out there,
that they do.
please like and subscribe.
Yeah, dude, we want to see, like, we want to be your friend, dude. Like, not in a weird way. It's, you're cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not in like a fetishizing way.
No.
But if you do have a big beard, and
There might be competition.
no.
And if you
Sorry,
can grow
you get
one.
to be Gandalf. We need Gimli.
Oh, true.
Yeah, like I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
there's no hate going on here. This is a love. We
Or
accept
fetishizing.
you. Yeah,
But if you do have a big
I
beard-
want to fuck you. No.
Yeah.
Not in a weird way. Just that's just kind of how Alex is.
Just a little tickle. Just
Yeah,
a little
I guess.
tickle
I
is
guess.
I don't want to fuck him. I just want to run long distances with him with like weapons. And stuff.
So in the 2 seconds that I spent Googling it, there is a guy on Reddit who is a dwarf and a blacksmith.
Yes.
But it was also 11 years ago, and just based on, metrics and everything, he might not be around anymore.
No.
Oh.
Or maybe he retired.
Well.
I hope retired.
No, there's a post from 3 months ago in a porn website, but okay.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Oh.
You creepy little fucker.
Maybe people
Oh my
are
god, it's all porn. Holy shit.
Maybe people
Oh,
are
yeah.
fetishizing them actually.
Yeah.
No, it's him posting on these. Mommy tits, short-haired hotties, cleavage. Thick chicks with 3 X's, short-haired hotties, cleavage. Oh my
Oh,
god,
wow.
there's so much porn.
Hey, do you guys remember one of the first episodes when we talked about dwarf dick?
Oh wow. This comes up a lot.
Apparently, I'm not the only guy in Baldur's Gate who's worried about it.
Holy crap, it's years and years of comments on porn threads.
Wow.
I mean, a guy's got to have a pastime.
Jesus.
You know what? Good on you, King. We
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
We get it.
He's also posting in armored women, so at least he's keeping his hobbies with his porn. Good for this dude.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, he's like, let me make you the perfect titty armor.
But just the nipples exposed.
Yeah.
That is the perfect armor.
Good for this dude.
Well,
This is a
that-
weird episode.
You know what, though? It's been good. I think we're going to leave it there, that we did find a porn-addicted dwarf blacksmith. We're going to end that episode here. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Hanging with the Hooligans. I'm James.
I'm Doug.
No, you mean Judd. I'm
I'm
Alex.
Judd.
yeah, I'm Chud.
Chud and Chud.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hear there's a really cool book that you should go and buy.
Yeah, In the Shadows of the Forest by Chuck Bailey. You do have to type the algorithm, you're not going to find it if you don't type my name in there, too.
Fucking algorithms and AI and fucking shit taking our jobs.
Yeah.
Used to be you'd go to the librarian and she'd tell you where to get your books and shit. Now you gotta go onto the Googles.
Libraries!
And now we're going to end on that one. Goodbye. Like and subscribe.
Wiener!
Wiener.